Hello, students, and welcome to today's session. Today, we are going to deal with Unit 2 Nelson Mandela Long Walk to Freedom. Long Walk to Freedom is the autobiography of former South African President Nelson Mandela. It deals with racial inequality, political protest, and the unyielding will for freedom. Nelson Mandela served in prison for almost 30 years for the abolition of apartheid, that is, the racial discrimination on the basis of the skin color. Whites ruled over the blacks just because of their fair skin. After abolishing apartheid, he became to be known as the father of the nation in South Africa, just like Mahatma Gandhi in India. The prescribed chapter is only an extract from his autobiography, and it mainly expresses what he felt on the day of his swearing in ceremony. The chapter begins on the 10th of May 1994, the day when Nelson Mandela officially became the President of South Africa. Now let us dive into our chapter. 10th May dawned bright and clear. For the past few days, I had been pleasantly besieged by dignitaries and world leaders who were coming to pay their respects before the inauguration. The inauguration would be the largest gathering ever of international leaders on South African soil. Here, besieged by means to be surrounded closely by. Dignitaries means high rank officers. So, in this paragraph, the beginning, that is the 10th of May, came out to be bright and clear. And why is it say so? It is because Nelson Mandela, along with his followers, were able to abolish apartheid era. From this paragraph, we can understand that the new democratic government formed in South African soil even got the support from the respective leaders of other countries and high rank officers. And Nelson Mandela says that this inauguration ceremony might be the largest gathering of international people on the soil of South Africa. Maybe before this event, no such gathering had happened in South Africa. The ceremonies took place in the lovely sandstone amphitheatre formed by the Union buildings in Pretoria. For decades, this had been the seat of white supremacy, and now it was the site of a rainbow gathering of different colors and nations for the installation of South Africa's first democratic non racial government. Here, amphitheatre means a building without a roof with many rows of seats rising in steps. Decade means a period of 10 years. Supremacy means the state of being superior in power. In this paragraph, it says that the swearing in ceremony took place in the amphitheatre formed by the Union building in Pretoria. Now, Pretoria is the administrative capital of South Africa. And he says that for a long period of time, this amphitheatre was a place where whites ruled, and only whites were allowed inside too. But today, this place is filled with people from many places and people of different colors, which he compares to a rainbow. It may be representing a mixture of different beautiful colors. And he says that this rainbow gathering is the first stepping stone of South Africa's first democratic non racial government. That is, for the first time, the leader of South Africa is selected by all the people of South Africa, irrespective of their color, creed, etc. And for the first time, they were given the freedom to select their own leader. On that lovely autumn day, I was accompanied by my daughter Zanani. On the podium, Mr. De Klerk was first sworn in as second deputy president, then Thabo Mbeki was sworn in as first deputy president. When it was my turn, I pledged to obey and uphold the Constitution, and to devote myself to the well being of the Republic and its people. To the assembled guests and the watching world, I said. So, here, podium means a small platform on which a person may stand to be seen by an audience. Devote means give most of a person's time to an activity. Assembled means people gathered together in one place for a common purpose. Now let's see what the paragraph means. You may have noticed the mentioning of autumn season in the first line. But May is the month of summer for us. You see, South Africa lies in the southern hemisphere. So there, May is the season of autumn. And as we all know, it is the season where the leaves fall from the tree. So we can derive two conclusions. First, maybe Mandela is actually talking about the season. Or maybe Mandela, by mentioning autumn, suggests that the old leaves of white supremacy fell on this day, and this day paves the path for a new beginning. On that day, he was accompanied by his daughter Zenani. And on the stage before Mandela, Mr. de Klerk and Thabo Mbeki were sworn in as the second and first deputy president of South Africa, respectively. When it was time for Mandela to take the oath, he pledged to follow the rules and regulations set by the Constitution of South Africa. And he pledged that he will work for the betterment of his country and its people. So, as you may understood, this was a very big deal for the people of South Africa. Now, let's move to the next paragraph. The following video is the pledge taken by Mandela on 10th of May 1994.
Today, all us do, by our presence here and by our celebrations in other parts of our country and the world, confer glory and hope to newborn liberty. Out of the experience of an extraordinary human disaster that lasted too long, must be born a society of which all humanity will be proud.
Here, confer means give. Now, let's see what this paragraph means. So, he says, being present on that day at the amphitheater is like giving hope and glory to the newly achieved freedom from racial discrimination. Here, the extraordinary human disaster is the Apartheid era, which is purely man-made. And he believes that as people who overcame this disaster, the world will be proud of their achievement.
That we, who were outlaws not so long ago, had today be given the rare privilege to be hosted to the nations of the world on our own soil. We thank all our distinguished international guests for having come to take possession with the people of our country. What is, after all, a common victory for justice, for peace, for human dignity.
So here, outlaw means those who break the law. Privilege means a special right. Dignity means respect. Okay, now let's see what this paragraph means. So not so long ago, people of South Africa were considered outlaws due to the system of apartheid, because the rest of the countries considered apartheid as a inhuman method. And many countries broke their relationship with South Africa due to this reason. But on 10th May, all those broken relationships were re-established, because the leaders of those countries were also among the guests who have came to witness the common victory for justice, peace and respect for humanity. And Mandela thanks all those dignitaries for their presence in South Africa.
We have at last achieved our political emancipation. We pledge ourselves to liberate all our people from the continuing bondage of poverty, deprivation, suffering, gender, and other discrimination.
Here, emancipation means freedom from restriction. Poverty means the state of being poor. Deprivation means the state of not having one's rightful benefits. Discrimination means being treated unfavorably. In this paragraph, Mandela states that finally they have achieved their freedom from apartheid era. Now, anyone can be a part of the government and can even become the leader of the state like him. And he also takes an oath to free the people from the continuing bondage of deprivation, poverty, suffering, and also from gender discrimination and such norms in which people are treated unfavorably.
Never, never, and never again shall it be that this beautiful land will again experience the oppression of one by another. The sun shall never set on so glorious a human achievement. Let freedom reign. God bless Africa. I thank you.
Here, oppression means unjust treatment of authority. Glorious means worthy of. Reign means rule. In this paragraph, he prays that never ever South African soil should witness the oppression of one by another. Here he is referring to the oppression faced by the blacks from the whites. He says that their achievement of abolishing apartheid will be known forever as one among the greatest human achievements. He ends his speech by hoping for a better and wonderful tomorrow. Now that was a part of his speech. Now let's move to the next paragraph. Okay. A few moments later, we all lifted our eyes in awe as a spectacular array of South African jets, helicopters, and troop carriers roared in perfect formation over the Union buildings. It was not only a display of pinpoint precision and military force, but a demonstration of the military's loyalty to democracy, to a new government that had been freely and fairly elected. Only moments before, the highest generals of the South African Defence Force and Police, their chests bedecked with ribbons and medals from days gone by, saluted me and pledged their loyalty. I was not unmindful of the fact that not so many years before they would not have saluted but arrested me. Finally, a chevron of Impala jets left a smoke trail of the black, red, green, blue, and gold of the new South African flag. Here, O means surprise, spectacular means beautiful in a dramatic way, array means an impressive display, troop means soldiers, precision means accuracy, bedecked means decorated, not unmindful of means conscious of or aware of. Chevron means a zigzag pattern in the shape of a V. Trail means series or chain. So, here, just after the speech of Mandela, that is the first black president of South Africa, an impressive arrangement of jets, helicopters, and soldier carriers were seen in the sky. He says that display not only showed perfection but also the military's respect and obedience towards the newly formed democratic government. The high commanders, whose chests were decorated with the medals of bravery, also saluted and promised their loyalty. Then Mandela reminds himself that the same people who were saluting him would have arrested him if they were still under the rule of whites. Because for whites, he was a criminal who fought for equality. The air show finally ended by the jets formed in the shape of V, produced a chain of smoke which resembled the colors of South African flag, that is black, red, green, blue and gold. The day was symbolized for me by the playing of our two national anthems and the vision of whites singing Ngosi Sikelele Africa and blacks singing Die Stem, the old anthem of Republic. Although that day neither group knew the lyrics of the anthem they once despised, they would soon know the words by heart. Here, symbolized means be a symbol of. Lyrics means the words of a song. Despised means hated. So, in every country, if a national function is going on, they will play the national anthem. Like that, Mandela also remembers the playing of the two national anthems of the country on that day. One was of the whites and the other was of the blacks. But on that day, neither whites nor blacks knew the exact wordings of the blacks' anthem Die Stem, which means the call. Even then, Mandela was confident that everyone would soon learn this anthem that they once hated. And that's it for today. Thank you.